Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. If you've been with me before, I am so happy that you've come back today. And if you are new, welcome. I'm glad you're here to craft along a little bit. So, how's everybody doing? We're doing pretty good here. I have myself in quite a tizzy in my craft room. I've decided to reorganize it and clean things out a bit, and you know that can always lead to trouble. So I'm at a point right now where I don't even know what to do up here next. I don't know where to put anything right now. I have three major crafts that I stay busy with. Paper crafts, obviously, with my journals and cards. Sewing, because a lot of that I can do downstairs when we're watching TV and stuff. Some things I need to do on the machine. And I do like to paint. I like to watercolor, which I don't get to do very often, so I'm really horrible at it. But I thought if I could divide my craft room up and keep like all my paper projects together in one area and my sewing projects all together, and then paints and stuff, which also I would use for crafts and things like that, that'd be great. Sure, it'll be great. I don't know what I was thinking. So I took a break because I knew I could make a card and maybe calm myself down here a little bit, regroup, and try to figure out what I want to do. So that's where we're at. And we're on our Stampin' A to Z project, where I'm trying to use all my stamp sets, my Stampin' Up stamp sets, I should say, that I have acquired over the years. And we are up to Timeless Textures from the end of the alphabet. We're cheating. We're going to do the end of the alphabet and the beginning of the alphabet. Next one up at the beginning was Bountiful Border. And I need some kind of a focal point here. So I could use this little filigree ferny looking stamp for my focal point. But I wanted something a little bigger. And when I pulled this Bountiful Border out, I don't even know where I got this. I'm wondering if I got that off of like my demonstrators used stamp sale at one point. I don't know. So anyways, I found some pretty paper and you might still be able to get this from Stampin' Up. I don't know for sure. This was Poetic Expressions. And it caught my eye because of the textured stamp appearance. I thought that kind of would be pretty with it because this almost looks textury. So anyway, that was my paper that I pulled out to start my card. It says Lost Lagoon. So I got a half a sheet of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I cut it down the center at 5.5. And then, I guess I shouldn't have put my scoreboard away here, so I could show you what I did, right? That would have been nice. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. And then I took my one end, slid it into 2 1/8 and scored. I just scored it at 2 1/8. Flipped my cardstock around and scored it at 2 1/8 again. And came up with, I think this is a gatefold card. I hope I'm not calling it the wrong thing, and people go to look up gatefold cards, and this isn't what you find. I think this is what it is, and I just had my measurements here. There they are. Right. So we have 2 1/8 by 5.5. Now I need to burnish this down a little bit because that is the little, I don't want to say hard part, but a little trying part of this kind of a card to keep the flaps closed. And we're going to help that out a little bit by layering up our greeting on the front, making it a little bit heavier. And that's going to help to keep those two flaps down. You can also, when you're making these cards, create a belly band. Get a strip of paper and fold it at the sides, adhere it together in the back, and you could add your designer paper or stamp across it or whatever you want to dress it up and slip it over. Do I have one handy? For anybody who might not know what a belly band is around a card. Oh, wait, there's one, I think. Yeah, this was a Christmas one that we did. Oh, it's a birthday one. It looks like it should be Christmas. Doesn't that look like a poinsettia? Maybe it was. Anyway, we made the belly band, glued it together, and this is designer series paper. It's glued together on the front because then we die cut the flowers out and used that to hide the seam, and then it slides over your card and holds it shut. And those are really pretty. They do add a little bit of weight to your card because that's some extra cardstock that you're putting in there. So today I thought we'd give it a go with just making a pretty focal point for in the center of our card, and hopefully it'll be enough to weight it down. So now we have two sides to the front of our card that are 2 and 1/8. Remember, that's where we scored them, 2 and 1/8. So I cut my cardstock to be 2 inches across by 5 3/8 inches down. And I cut 2 of them. Those are going to fit on our front flaps. And then I got some plain white cardstock. Now, depending on your pattern, you might have like a pale yellow or something. I would keep it a lighter color. And I cut that down. I made this narrow because I want to see my pattern paper behind. So I cut these down to 1.5, double check, 1.5 across by 4 7/8. This will give me something to stamp a little bit on since we don't get to stamp too much anymore. And then I cut a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white to go on the inside. Because this is all rectangles, I decided I wanted my centerpiece to be oval. I don't know why, I just did. I didn't want to have another rectangle. I wanted to soften it up a little bit. So I used my layering ovals and I cut a background piece out of the same color as my cardstock, the Lost Lagoon. And then I cut this scallop out of white because I wanted to make sure it was going to fit in there and would still see some of the green. Usually I would cut this out after I stamp. And I might have to because I don't know how this is going to fit in the oval. But we're going to find out. Okay, scrappy paper because we're going to stamp off the edges of our white strips. And out of Timeless Texture, these were some of those clear mount stamps that didn't stick very well to your block. And so I have, these are already stickied on the back by using Tombow glue, so they're a sticky mess on my fingers as well. And sticky in the, oh, I might not have used that one. I've used the others, I know I have. This is not one of the stamp sets that's been forgotten. I have used this. So I think a nice background to go on top of the Lost Lagoon. I didn't want to make it the same color, but I also don't want it to get too dark. Oh, where did I just put my stamp at? This. I don't want it to get too dark. So I'm going to use basic gray, but I'm going to stamp off one time before I stamp onto my cardstock and see if that'll be a contrasting color, yet light enough that it doesn't interfere with our stamped images. Yeah, see, that might be a little too dark without stamping it off once. And then I'm going to randomly stamp on my white. I hope everybody had a lovely weekend. Hubby and I actually took a little ride yesterday, went to some antique shops and rode around. We haven't done that for a while. Stopped and had lunch, and we're so proud of ourselves. We went to some antique shops and left without buying anything. Yay! All right, that should work. Ooh, I don't know where my cleaner sponge went. There it is. Clean my stamp off. And we'll layer this on there just to see how it looks, because I'd rather check it before I glue it down in case I don't like it. So it's going to look a little bit like this. And then where my ovals go. Put this on top. And that might be nice. I think I like it. I think I'm going to be good with that. There, it looks a little better without the mess behind it, huh? But I need that paper because our focal point that we're going to use this Bountiful border. I can talk. Oh, and I think I figured it out. That this stem, which has some gold leaf on it. I don't think I used this though. I really do think I got this one off of a sale. And then this other stamp layers on top of it with little flowers. Cute? Yeah. So we're going to try that. And I do think it's going to go off the edge of my oval a little bit. So, yeah. Then Saturday, my sister had... So do I want to make this in green or gray? I almost want to do it in the gray. Because my flowers, I thought I would use Moody Mauve. Well, we'll try it in the gray, and if I don't like it, I'll cut out another oval. How's that? Yeah, my sister had a little derby party on Saturday, and so got to go there. I was happy to see her and my niece. I don't get to see them very often. They don't live far away, but, well, my niece does, actually. She lives a little further away. Move over there for a minute. Let's see. Oh, I think I want it full strength. But my sister's rather close, but she still works full-time, and so, you know, when you're working a full-time job, you know what it's like when you have a little bit of free time. There's a lot to do at home. So when we get to see each other, it's always very nice. And then this one, I want to do little flowers out of the mauve. And I want to make sure I have this lined up right first. Yep, this would have been a good one to do in the Stamparatus. It's not sticking to my block on there. I'm holding my breath. All right, let's see. Let's just see. I'm thinking, I'm trying to decide if I like it. Should I have stamped the mauve off one time? Is it too dark? It might not be too dark if I put, well, whew, goodness, didn't have to throw my block at it, huh? So now I'm thinking maybe it's these I don't like. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Okay, back to, what are we going to put on those? We have to use timeless textures. That was the whole name of the game today. So how about we'll do something with the Lost Lagoon. Maybe introducing, well, I got the gray stem now. Oh my goodness, this is turning out to be just like rearranging my craft room. I don't need 2 of those. Oh no, I don't have a clue what I'm doing anywhere. Okay, come back here, timeless texture. Let's try the dots in Lost Lagoon. Get a little fuzzy there. And not so many. And stamped off. Right, let's see how that'll be. I think that's better. Yes. All right, do the other white one. I think the Lost Lagoon made a difference. But I still like the gray for the stem. I don't know why that is, but I do. Wrong way. I missed that whole piece there to clean off my ink. Oh, I know what I can do. Okay, we could. I mean, come on, they're 1.5 inch strips of paper. If I mess them up, I mess them up, right? That is the fun thing about working with paper. I just cut another piece. Oh, see. That's the bad thing about that Tombow. This is what it does to your block. Now I'm going to have to, you see all the sticky it left on there. Now I got to go try to clean that off. Yeah, that's going to be caca. Oh, so what else did we do this weekend? Oh, for Mother's Day. Hubby says, what do you want for Mother's Day? Said dirt. Said that must be when you know that you're getting old, when you're happy if you get dirt for Mother's Day. I'm going to start working on my planter out back and add some herbs to it. My son had got me one of those raised planter boxes. And the first year I did it, I have ink on my nail. I'm trying to get that off. Sorry. The first year that I did it, I really think I put too many plants in it, and we didn't use good dirt. We used some gardening soil that we had here from the old garden. And I think it was just not, it didn't have enough nutrients, and it was clumpy. And so anyways, I wasn't real happy with it that year. So I told him this year, I want good dirt. That's what I want for Mother's Day. So we did go out and we bought dirt yesterday. Got some good potting mix to put in there. And I'm going to make my herbs in that, and then I can put a couple tomatoes and pepper plants down by my deck. I don't want a big garden this year, but I do like to go out and pick a fresh tomato, you know. That is the fun part of summer. I haven't figured out yet what I'm doing for my greeting. I mean, I think I know what my greeting's going to be. I just don't know how we're going to have that on yet. So this week we're supposed to have rain like the entire week. So I don't really think I'm going to get too much done out in my planter this week. I think we might try to set it up and put the soil in it today when he gets home, but I don't even have my plant spot yet, so that's fine. If you keep hearing clanking when I'm doing that, I'm sorry. It's the clip in my hair. I keep hitting my light. I'm trying to duck. It's not like I'm a tall person. I'm trying to duck so I don't keep clanking it. See, and then if we stamp our greeting in the Moody Mauve, and I had found these actually were, I believe, just jade little, but look how cute they are on this. But now that I've added the dots, I don't know if I like the squares. Oh, I don't know. Those smaller ones. I don't know if I have anything that really goes with the mauve. I don't think I have stuff in the mauve color. So let's figure out what we're going to put on here as a greeting. I did pull out the special moment stamp set because it always just has cute stuff on there. And actually, if I found a small enough one, thanks would fit right in there. Yes, it will. Well, how's that for working out? Thanks. Look at that. It will. It's going to be a good day. Stamp mat. Where did you hide? Oh, right in front of my face. And Moody Mauve. Scrap paper. Come here, because I want to see how this... Oh, that's pretty. I like how fine that is. Nice. I like that much. Very, very much. I wish I could show you one of the things that I did get organized neatly were all my ribbons and stuff. And I have a couple of those craft carts. I'm sure everybody knows what those are. And I got all my ribbons in there. I would still like to go back and get them more organized by color, but they're all in there now and I can see them because I think a lot of the problem with our craft supplies is you don't use them because you don't see them, right? So if I get them out, I don't want to leave everything out. But if you can get them into a position where you could see what you have, then you're more likely to use it. And that's part of my problem. You know, I don't use things. Then I get mad at myself. All right, this is my inside. So I think we're going to do that before we put this on. We have to remember when we add our front that we're only going to put adhesive on one half of it, because if you put it on the whole back, you're going to glue your card shut. That would be a really bad thing. Okay, so thanks. And I like this too. Where would I be without a friend like you? Is it this one? Yes, it is. By golly. Here are all the birdies outside. I'll tell you, we put up suet feeders this past winter for the winter birds. And we were just saying the other day, I don't even know what the point is in putting our sunflower seeds out, because our suet feeders have been so busy, they don't even go to the regular bird feeders now. Everybody goes out to these suet feeders and thinks, you know, that's their big buffet. We had to pick up more suet yesterday because they're just crazy. But I'll tell you, we've had just about every kind of woodpecker that comes in this area. We've had the big pileated woodpeckers down to, what did we just get? A red-headed woodpecker. He looks like he has a red helmet on his head. Beautiful, deep red. And of course, little Donny woodpeckers and hairy woodpecker. They're all of them. But it's also brought our normal little I hate to call them our everyday birds, but we see them at the feeders and stuff. We get wrens and nuthatch and titmouse and chickadees and cardinals and blue jays. And I mean, we do have a lot of birds. I love watching them. Especially on a day when it's raining and you can't really get out there and do anything. The birds still come. They still love you. Yeah. all of my little doodads are right behind me now. If I can just find something that's mauve, we'll try that against the lagoon. Oh, what are these little curly things? Is that too pink? It's kind of like a mauve pink. I think they're too pink. Too purpley pink. Well, I do believe my wooden tray is a wonderful thing to have. But I think we're going to have to stick with the lagoon color. Just not seeing anything mauvey, or pink, or red. Yeah. All right, that's okay. I like that. I like the green. Okay, so let's get this on here. Get it centered. Where would I be without a friend like you? I like it. Well, this is almost done. That means I have to go back and figure out what I'm doing in this room. It's a scary thought. Oh. One more. And there we are. So, in addition to special moments, which I guess doesn't really count because this is just all of our greetings that are falling off. Goodness. We have timeless textures. We've used the little dots and the little coffee ring. And Bountiful border using the stem with the little flowers that matched up to the stem. I hope you like it. I think it came out all right. I do like this. I use this actually quite frequently when I'm making cards. So if you have any pretty background stamps, they do come in handy when you just need that little extra something in your card. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for being with me. Bye.